friends, welcome back, and if you are new, welcome. My name is Nikki. Today we are doing an Amazon 101 video. So what I mean by this is probably most helpful if you're an Amazon newbie or beginner. If you've been selling on Amazon for a while, this might all seem like a little too, I already know this for you. So this may not be the video for you, but lots of Amazon videos coming your way. I wanted to go through some common Amazon terms that you need to know or that you should know as you start selling on Amazon. And then I also want to talk to you guys about great things to sell during I can't talk, you guys, Q4 on Amazon. I always tell you guys, anything you can buy on Amazon, you want to try to sell on Amazon, right? But there are certain categories that do really well and certain categories that are great for beginners to start in. If you're new to Amazon, and Q4, if you didn't know, is a huge, probably one of the best money-making times on any selling platform, Poshmark, eBay, Amazon. It's a huge opportunity to make money, even if you're gated in a lot of things. We'll talk about what gated means in a minute. So let's jump into this video. So I'm just gonna grab a product to use as a reference. So let's start with just some common terms that I think are really important for you to know. First up, FBA, which means fulfilled by Amazon. So I'm gonna put on the screen somewhere what these things mean while I talk to you. So FBA, there's two types of fulfillment. You can do FBA or FBM. I recently talked about this in a come shop with me, like a retail arbitrage video at Ross. I'll link it down below. But I wanted to go into more detail because a lot of you, I didn't realize how many of you are so new to Amazon and you're like, what is FBA? What is FBM? Let's say I have this skincare product, which I do. This is Algenist. It's a blue algae vitamin C serum, which I haven't used yet. Brand new in box, right? I want to sell this on Amazon. I have two options. So I can ship this product to Amazon. Amazon will package it up for me. That's another thing. You can package it up yourself and put your own label on it, or you can send it to Amazon. They'll package it up for you and they will store it in their Amazon warehouse until Susie Q buys it in Illinois, and then Amazon will ship this to Susie Q and you get paid out as long as she doesn't return it. So that is what FBA means. It means I'm sending an item or items to Amazon. They're storing them. They're doing all the customer service for the item. Once I ship it to them, I'm kind of hands off. And then once it's sold, they take care of everything. Now, FBM is fulfilled by merchant. So we're all merchants. Anyone that sells on Amazon is a merchant. So you can choose to, let's say you have the serum and you say, you know what, I don't want to send it to Amazon because the fees are a bit higher, you guys, to have Amazon store it for you, obviously, because they're storing your product for you. So you can store it in your house the same way you store the stuff, or store it wherever you want. Like I store my inventory in a storage unit. Same way you store your Poshmark, your eBay inventory, you just store your Amazon inventory, and then when it sells, you send it to the buyer. I find shipping very easy on Amazon. At first, when I started, you guys, I thought it was very intimidating. Their whole console platform really freaked me out. I promise you it's not that scary. You're going to make a mistake. We all make mistakes when something is new, but it's really easy once you get the hang of it. I could do a video on Amazon shipping, but you guys, the Amazon Seller University is amazing. You sign up to make an Amazon account and you get access to all of their videos. I don't even know if you need an Amazon selling account to see the Seller University videos. You may not. They will show you everything. They'll show you how to do FBA, how to do FBM, how to do the shipping. So I digress. That's what fulfilled by merchant is. Instead of you sending it to Amazon, you are storing it yourself and then you're shipping it out through Amazon. You create a label and you ship it to the buyer. You're doing the customer service. If they want to return, it would come back to you. If they have questions, it's going to come to you, etc. So FBA, Amazon's like the middleman. FBM, it's you and the customer and you're shipping it directly to them. Now, how do you decide what you want to do FBA and FBM? I can tell you myself personally, I prefer to do FBM if there aren't a lot of sellers on the item. So the skincare item, for example, let's say I am the only seller, the only person on Amazon selling this, which is very rare. I don't find a product like that often. Amazon is a huge platform. People sell on Amazon around the world. It's very rare that happens, but if I was the only person on the listing, or sometimes, God, I'm losing my voice. Sometimes if I'm one of like 3 or 4 people on the listing and nobody's doing FBA, I will do FBM, because FBA, if there's an FBA seller on the item, it makes it more, they have a more of a competitive advantage, because people like myself, I'm also a very, I use Amazon Prime a lot. And I only buy things that are available on Amazon Prime. So usually if I see a product that I can't get through Amazon Prime, I probably won't buy it. So if there's a seller of this serum that's doing FBA, meaning remember it's at Amazon and Amazon's gonna ship it, I choose that. And a lot of people think that way. Not everyone though. You guys, I have about 200 items that I have listed for filled. Oh, my phone's ringing. Where is my phone? Oh, it's on the floor. I have a bunch of items that are fulfilled by merchant, but yeah, in order to compete with the fulfilled by Amazon sellers, the FBA sellers, usually I will do FBA, but if there aren't any FBA sellers and I'm one of a few of the sellers, I will choose FBM because the fees are lower, like I mentioned. So I could do a whole other video on that, but hopefully that made sense. Let's talk about another term that's really important to know, and that term is called gated terms, I guess. Gated or ungated. So what does that mean? So unlike Poshmark or eBay, you can sell anything from the day you start. If you find this serum and you want to sell it on Poshmark, you can sell it. Poshmark isn't going to say you can't sell that. If you want to sell this on eBay, eBay isn't probably going to say you can't sell it. You can just list it and sell it. Amazon is different. They are very much customer focused. They want to make sure that you have a good history with them, that you're selling authentic items. They've had, unfortunately, a lot of people have done like scammy stuff on Amazon over the years. So their restrictions on sellers have gotten a little more strict over the years. So when you first start selling on Amazon, you can't just sell everything you want. You will be what's called gated in a lot of things, meaning you're not allowed to sell them. So think a lot of like the name brand stuff like Nike, Adidas. Those are just like random examples. Certain brands of things you just won't be able to sell. Certain whole types of things, like whole categories, you may not even be able to sell. Like when I first started selling on Amazon about 4 years ago, I couldn't sell anything in toys or beauty. Not a single thing. I couldn't sell a soap. I couldn't sell Algenist. I couldn't sell anything. I was gated in all of beauty. I was gated in a lot of food. I was gated in a lot of clothing. And now 4 years later, I'm pretty much ungated in all of that stuff except like the name brands that I mentioned, like Nike, Adidas, stuff like that. Like those name brands those are the ones that are coming to my mind for some reason. They didn't used to be so strict. Now there's certain things that you have to do, certain processes that you have to go through to get ungated in those like huge brands. Like this is one actually, Algenist, which is a very popular skincare brand. I'm still gated in this. I don't know if I'll ever be ungated. There's different types of gatings too. Like there's gatings in categories. Like for example, as I mentioned, I was completely gated in toys, but now I'm what's called ungated, meaning I can sell in the toy category, but there's certain brands that I'm still gated in. It's a little convoluted until you just start selling. But so for example, I can't sell Fisher Price. I am going to work on that though. And I should do a video on how you can get ungated in those bigger brands, but I can sell a lot of toy brands, but Fisher Price, I'm totally gated in still. So even within certain categories, there's certain brands that you may be gated in, and there's certain brands that you may just never be able to get ungated in. That's just the law of the land. But I always say, so many people start scanning things and they just get defeated because they're like, I can't sell this. I can't sell this. Don't focus on what you can't sell, you guys. Focus on what you can sell. I promise you there is so much money to be made on Amazon. Even if you start right now, day 1, 2021, there is still thousands and thousands of dollars to be made. And here's the thing, the longer you sell on Amazon, the more you prove yourself to them and you show you're a trustworthy seller, they're naturally gonna ungate you in different categories, different brands of things. So don't get discouraged. I started out for an entire year just selling used books. That was it. I don't even think I was ungated to sell a lot of new books. I just sold used books. I kept doing that. Wash, rinse, repeat. I would do some FBA. I would also do some fulfilled by merchant. And slowly, as I started doing that, I kept getting ungated and more things. So there's two ways to get ungated. There's time and just selling what you can. And there's getting invoices from manufacturers and submitting those invoices to get quickly ungated. That requires money. We could do a whole other video on that. But I chose the time one because I had a full-time job and I was like, you know, I wanted to start Amazon very low investment. I didn't want to put too much money into it because I didn't know if I would like it. So I started with a very low investment. I just flipped used books and slowly I got ungated. And now 4 years later, I'm ungated in so much stuff. But like I said, like name brand things like Algenis, which is weird because I am ungated in a lot of higher end beauty and skincare, but there are still certain brands that I'm gated in. So hopefully that made sense, but those are like the big terms that I feel like you need to know as you move through your Amazon journey. Do not let that, I find so many people just get so defeated and they're like, you know what, I can't sell this, I can't sell that, I'm not gonna do it. But I promise you there's so much that you can sell and make money. Another thing I wanted to cover, I'm gonna do a whole video on, but when I was scanning things in Ross, a lot of you were asking me like, what are you scanning on the item? I should have mentioned that, I'm sorry. I'm scanning the actual barcode on the item. So every single item that you want to purchase, whether you're at Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, has a barcode. So when you scan this, if it's for sale on Amazon or has sold in the past, the item will come up. Now, sometimes you'll scan an item and it won't come up. You can also scan just the front of an item and see if it'll come up that way. The Amazon seller app like scans, you see like these little dots all over the front of the item and it'll pull up the listing that way. But like, I don't know, 80 to 90% of the time if I scan the barcode. So that's what I'm scanning, the UPC barcode on the item. Another big question a lot of you have asked is, how do you scan? I just use the Amazon seller app. It is free to set up an account. I think if you want to do I'm sorry, it's not free. It's $40 a month if you do an individual account. But how much is it if you do a business account? I can't remember. But the Amazon seller app, like, you don't have to pay anything additional. It's the seller app where you scan things like I just showed you and you can see how much it's selling for on Amazon. That's all I use, you guys. There's other things you can use like Keepa, which is good to learn. I mean, but if you're just starting out, just use the Amazon seller app. The other big thing is sales rank. Now we'll just quickly go over this. So I keep using this thing here because it's just on my desk. Let's say you scan this, you're in Ross, you scan this item. This is a beauty item. This would be considered, what do they call it? Like premium beauty, because it's, I think this serum is like $70. This is in like their premium beauty category. You'll see a number at the top right when you scan it. Well, let's scan it now, actually. I'm gated, but so I can kind of explain in a little more detail. I need to turn my ringer off. But sales rank is very important. Okay, seller. All right, so I'm gonna scan it. My app is taking forever to open. Oh, it's not coming up. This is an example of something that's not coming up. But I know I scanned it because it came up because I saw that I was gated in it. I'm scanning the front now. God, why is my camera so dirty? Oh, jeez. All right, anyways, this thing isn't scanning. Is there something else around here I can scan? Here's a book, Create Your Own Calm. I talked about this in my postpartum anxiety video on my other channel. It's just a book, a journal about dealing with all types of stuff. Okay, so Create Your Own Calm, a journal for quieting anxiety. So this is a book. In the books category, I'm sorry, the sales rank is actually in the top left corner. This book ranks 17,000 and the 17,000, it says 17,841. That is very good for a book. So the way to explain this, let's say currently for sale on Amazon, there are 5 million books. I know there are many, many more. There are 5 million books. Each category has different sales ranks amounts. Like let's say they have 10 million books on Amazon for sale, but they only have 5 million humidifiers, and they only have 10,000 vanity mirrors. Okay, so there's different number amounts for different categories, but just for an example, we're going to say they have 10 million books on Amazon. Out of the 10 million, this book ranks 17,000. Like that's how many of them are selling to get it in the rank. So the lower the rank number, the more that item is selling. So if you find an item, let's say for example, a book that has a rank of 200, that is selling multiple times a day, because out of 2 or 10 million books, this item is ranked 200, so it's close to the number 1. That means it's selling a lot. And there's more research you can do. Like I mentioned, Keepa is a thing you can use, but just know that there are certain like charts that can help you know what's a good sales rank, because it's a little confusing when you first start out. And it changes, right? Amazon doesn't always have an exact amount of books for sale. So that sales rank number, the categories of what's selling the best, changes. So for example, like the top 5% might be a sales rank of 100 to 2,000, and then a top 10% might be 2,000 to 10,000. So that's why I'm saying the sales rank like of what's selling very well can change depending on the category. Those larger categories, so think books, beauty products, toys that have those lower sales ranks, they're selling a lot. I mean, a low sales rank, honestly, I sell a lot of beauty. So if I see anything with like 100,000 in beauty, I'm like, wow, that's a really good sales rank to me. Or if I see something with 50,000, it's not often that I find anything in beauty that I can find that's like a sales rank of like under 5,000. I found a couple last week. Those things are going to sell very fast. Like I found some CoverGirl foundations. I found 30 of them that had a sales rank of 19,000, and I'm selling probably like 4 to 5 of those a week. So sales rank is important. Don't let it scare you. You can just Google whatever you're trying to sell and say like good sales rank, and you'll find different lists as you learn them, but that's just something that you need to be aware of. Like if you find a book, I found many books that will have a sales rank of like 7 million or 8 million. That tells me that that book's probably not selling, and if it is, maybe a couple a year if you're lucky, because remember, if Amazon has 10 million books for sale and that rank is 7, I found one book yesterday, it was 7 million. The rank was like 7,800,000, and I checked Keepa. That book has only sold like twice this year. So sales rank is very important. Don't let it scare you. As you learn and you start scanning more and more things, you'll know, like you'll have an idea of what that sales rank means. So hopefully you found that helpful. Hopefully I did not confuse you, but I did want to do this video before we start going out and sourcing a bunch again. Just so you know and understand the terms as you start selling on Amazon. Now, quickly, I wanted to talk about some great things that you can sell on Amazon in Q4 as a beginner. If you are able, of course, to sell toys, definitely go to Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Walmart, Target, and scan away toys. But my natural inclination is telling me, and I already know, when I first started, for 2 years, I couldn't sell any toys. But do not let that defeat you. Think about gifts that people give during Christmas time, during Thanksgiving. What can you sell of those things? Like when I started, like in the beginning, I was ungated in some clothing, not a lot. So I did a lot of clothing. I scanned a lot of stuff at Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. Those are things that people are giving as gifts. I scanned a lot of perfume. I was totally gated. That might be totally different for you. But I just tried to think of things that people are giving as gifts. Another big one you guys do not skip out on is home furnishings, decor. So I really focused a lot on kitchen because that was one of the categories that I was ungated in, and I thought about, okay, it's the holiday season and you need stuff and you don't want to go to the store and you want something quick. What are you going to shop for? You're going to shop for kitchen utensils, pots, pans, things like that. So I focus a lot on home things, a lot of stuff in the kitchen, bathroom, body products, books. You guys, books sell year-round. I've never met someone, I could be wrong, I've never met someone that's gated in books. Scan as many books as you can. Go to bookstores, go to garage sales, go to thrift stores, books. If you are new, you can usually get them at a really affordable price, and you just keep flipping them on Amazon, building up your sales history, and just keep trying to get ungated in those things. So hopefully you found this helpful. I feel like this was a lot of information, but I think it's important information that you need to know when you're starting out on Amazon. Subscribe, give this a thumbs up if you want more Amazon videos. Let me know if you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next one.